Well, look who just joined us. Academy Award-nominated film guru, Curtis Killingsworth.
Oh, my God.
What? Congrats.
The intro I was always waiting for.
Congrats, my friend.
So close.
Fine.
Yes.
Oh, if only there were a category for film guru.
Yes.
Yourself.
It's an honor just to be nominated.
Yes, right. With all the incredible people that you're
so
nominated
many in
with.
there.
Yeah.
So close, but so
Thanks
far
so
away.
much.
Yeah.
So good to see you. Alamo Drafthouse. Things going good. 2024. We're in January. I heard Mean Girls was really good. There's new movies out, so.
New movies are out, and in fact, to kind of go in with the nominations, the Zone of Interest comes out at the Alamo this weekend.
Ooh.
If you don't know what that is, lots of people don't, but it's a new Jonathan Glazer film that just got nominations for, I think, Best Director and Best Picture this morning as kind of a surprise nomination. We're going to do a film club for it next Tuesday. I know you guys aren't going to make it, but it'd be a good one to come to.
And what's it called? In the Zone?
The Zone of Interest.
The Zone of Interest. Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
We did one for Anatomy of a Fall a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago now, but it's also a foreign language film that also got multiple nominations this morning.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
Wow. Well, and speaking of the nominations, I asked you, were you surprised by people maybe missing out or people that were nominated?
Well, I think the biggest surprise, or at least the one we're going to talk about the most, is Margot Robbie not getting an Oscar nomination for Barbie. Well, she did technically get a nomination as a producer, as they got a Best Picture nomination, but she did not make it in as Best Actress. But Lily Gladstone did, which makes me very happy.
And what movie is she from?
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay.
She was the lead of that film, and Sandra Hüller, who was the lead of Anatomy of a Fall, got in. So those were both very exciting.
Well, who was the surprise in that category? Like, who do you think took that Margot Robbie spot, if you will?
Probably Naiad, which is a little movie that came out on Netflix that starred Jodie Foster and Annette Bening, and Annette Bening got a Best Actress nomination.
Wow.
And she portrays the swimmer, Naiad, right?
Naiad, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was a surprise.
I just think the people, and again, we're not in the, if you're not in the industry, people who just go to movies, like Barbie and Oppenheimer, everybody said saved the movie business last year. Like, it brought people back. To me, if you're watching at home and you went to see Barbie and Oppenheimer, you'd want Margot Robbie there because she's the title character. She carried the movie. She had a whole range of emotions. I said Barbie cried way too much for me in that movie because you think about Barbie just being that Barbie, but the range to me. And also, it's a nod to what they did for the movie business. I loved her, and she's gorgeous. So.
Well, the Oscars aren't about saving the movie business. They're about what's best that year. But Barbie didn't get shut out, right? American Ferrera is one that I really wanted. She gave the great speech in Barbie. She got in to Best Supporting Actress. Ryan Gosling got in for Best Supporting Actor. So, you know, Margot might have got shut out of one. But Barbie, for a comedy based on a Mattel toy,
I mean, come on.
pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Did Greta get a nomination for director? Or
She did not.
No!
She did
I did not look at director category. What?
Interesting.
Okay, who's in there then? Do we know who's in there?
I'm trying to remember everyone that got in, but I know Martin Scorsese got in.
Yeah.
The director for Anatomy of a Fall got in. That was a surprise. Jonathan Glazer, I think, got in for The Zone of Interest.
Nolan?
I think Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer and Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things. I believe that's the 5 nominees.
Now I wonder if Emma Stone is nominated.
She is. I saw
She
Emma.
is? Okay.
Yeah. Emma. Oh, my God.
Well, Poor Things is a great movie. And I've been saying for a long time that Poor Things is the worst thing that ever happened to Barbie because it was going to steal so much from it along the way. And it did.
Okay, then put you on the spot. They just came out then.
Yeah.
Who's the front runner, like, say, picture, actor, actress? Who's front running?
I still got to go with Oppenheimer as your lead in most of these categories. I think it's got the #1 actor. I think it's got to be on top ahead of like Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers or Coleman Domingo for Rustin. I think he's got to be #1. Picture still got to be Oppenheimer, but Poor Things is so good. It is so good. I got to go Oppenheimer, but Poor Things is maybe my favorite movie of the year.
Do you think Emma's going to win then? Best actress?
Oh. Yes.
I was like that dramatic
You can change your mind, though.
No, Emma Stone's going to win it. Mark it down.
Mark it down. Emma Stone, mark
She
it
get
down.
her second Oscar
And then
this year.
Killian
Murphy.
Cillian Murphy.
Yes.
You think he'll?
I'm going to go Cillian Murphy.
Okay.
I am. And then the dark horse and supporting actor is Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things, but he's been my favorite supporting actor performance all year. Well, since I saw it, and I hope that he
He sweeps.
I hope that he does. I hope he gets it. I hope he gets it.
Well, thanks for that insight.
Yes, thank you for the Oscar insight.
Yes.
But let's hop back to Alamo. You guys have some very special guests coming in.
We do on February the 10th. His name is Scott Enos, and you might not know his name, but he is from here originally, and he went off to become a voice actor, and he works big time in like the Scooby-Doo world, where he does voice Scooby-Doo and Shaggy in a couple of like the animated films, but he played the voice of Scrappy-Doo in the 2002, 2001. Anyways, the Scooby-Doo film that came out with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard. And it's a great time, it's a great movie. He's gonna be in to do a Q&A and a signings and photo ops and all that stuff after a screening of the show on February 10th.
And where can people find information about that?
Drafthouse.com/Springfield.
Okay.
And look it up or get on our app and do it. But get tickets. We started selling yesterday, going pretty well so far. And it's going to be so much fun. He's a great guy. He's going to be great to talk to. And it'll be fun to
By
get
the way,
he's a local. He's a local.
Yeah. And if you change your mind on not Oscar picks, you can come back and tell us. We don't hold you to this today.
Oh, I'm locking it in. Forever.
Okay, all right.
Locking
Did it.
in.
First of all, thank you so much for coming in. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
I can't wait to go get some pizza at Alamo Drafthouse because I love your
See
pizza.
a movie. Let's get
Come get
real.
some.
Yeah. All right, you guys. More fun on Ozarks Fox AM after this.